Welcome back to Yoga by Paige. In today's class, we're going to do some heat building with our legs, along with some really active hip opening. You may want a block for some twisting that we will be doing as well for a nice full body activation. So if you are ready, let's go ahead and get started. We'll begin today's practice by lying on our backs. So go ahead and lay all the way down, bringing your knees into your chest. We'll open the arms out nice and wide and stack the knees over the hips. Start to pull the navel down and in and feel the lower back imprint on your mat. Now on your exhale, we're gonna hover our knees just halfway over to the right, trying to keep our left hip anchoring as close to the ground as we can. We don't want it to totally pop all the way up. So we start to feel a little bit of heat build through our center core. Then inhale, come back up through center. And now we'll go to the left. And dropping both of your knees halfway over to the left, feeling a little bit of anchoring through this right hip. Pulling your navel down and in, inhale center, and then exhale to the right. Maybe going a little bit further each time. Inhale center, and now exhale to the left. Good, inhale center. We'll go like 3/4 to the right, a little bit further, feeling more heat through that center. Inhale center, and then exhale 3/4 to the left. Your right shoulder still is really heavy. Inhale center, and then almost all the way to the right without touching. Good, inhale center, and now we'll go almost all the way to the left without touching. Of course your hip has to pop up. Inhale center, and now exhale, drop your legs all the way to the right. You can place your right hand on your knee and look out to the left. Really gentle twist here, allowing the belly to now soften. Breathe in and breathe out. 2 more. And out. Last one here. And out. Good, yogis. Inhale, come back up through center. We'll go ahead and drop our knees all the way to the left to find this twist on the second side. Gaze can turn to the right and breathe in. And out. 2 more. Inhale. And out. Last one. And out. Well done. Go ahead and come back through center. Hug both knees into your chest. Round up, drawing your forehead towards the knees, and then we'll slip our hands to the thighs so we can rock and roll forward and back, gaining enough momentum so that we might be able to come up into an upright seat. So as you come up here, we're gonna find Sukhasana. So the knees will be slightly wider. Rather than being tucked in, you want them to be a little bit wider so we can get our shins parallel in front of one another. And then from here, we'll reach the arms up really nice and tall, lengthen, and exhale, hands down to heart center. 2 more like that. Inhale, reach. Exhale to heart. Last one, inhale, reach. And here on your exhale, what we'll do is we're gonna just extend forward and plant the hands out in front of us. So with the hands out in front, you're using these to help you anchor your sit bones down onto the mat and draw the chest forward. So you're getting a little bit of gentle opening through your hips, some core engagement through your center. Your chest is lengthening so that your spine is lengthening as well. We'll be here for 1 more inhale. Now on the exhale, pull the navel to your spine. You can start to walk your hands out a little bit further. And a couple of options, if you don't have blocks, you can let your head hang heavy while you tuck your chin towards your chest. If you do have a block, you can choose a setting to rest your forehead on the block. I like this setting particularly, so I'm gonna rest right here. Now what you'll do is just breathe into that whole backside body, keeping some heat in your hips so that you are filling up and releasing any tension that sometimes gathers in the back. 2 more. And last one. Then we'll inhale, walk ourselves upright, and then just switch which leg is in front so that the other leg is in front now. We'll inhale, reach the arms up nice and tall, find the length, and exhale, hands heart center. Feel the weight through your sit bones. Inhale, circle sweep up, and exhale down. Last one here, inhale, reach. And then same thing, we're just gonna extend out, feel the sit bones root into the ground, plant the hands on the mat. Use your hands to help you sink in through the hips a little bit deeper, pulling your chest up and through. Take an inhale here, hold the exhale, draw the shoulders away from your ears. We'll start to pull that navel into our spine, tuck the chin to our chest, And again, you can roll out and rest your forehead on a surface, or if you want to, just let the chin hang down towards your chest, you can do that as well. I'm gonna stay here on the block because this feels really good in my body today. And then we'll just breathe through this, starting to feel not only the release of this back, but all through the hips as well. We have one more breath. Good, now begin to use your hands to walk yourself up off of your block if you're using that, or just upright in general. Set the block aside if you have that, and now we'll roll over the shins, coming into a tabletop position. Arriving in tabletop position, we'll take one traditional cat-cow, tilt the pelvis, and drop the ribs, look all the way up, and then exhale, navel to spine, chin to chest. And then we'll come back to more of a neutral spine and stretch out. Bring the right ear back towards your right hip, and then inhale, center, and bring your left ear towards your left hip, and then inhale, center. And we'll do that 2 more times, right? And center, and left, and center. Well done, yogis. Now when you're ready, we can tuck our toes and lift the hips, making our way into our first downward facing dog. So arrive in your downward facing dog. Take a couple of moments to pedal out and notice how you feel in this shape today. It's a pretty big one. Getting that nice long stretch to the back of the legs. Shifting the weight maybe forward and back into your hands and your feet. Feeling that length through the spine as well. We'll take one more breath. And exhale. Now look forward to your hands, put a little bit of a bend in your knees, slowly begin to walk yourself forward into a fold at the top of your mat. Arriving here in your fold, take an inhale with your fingertips on the mat or your shins to find a halfway lift. Grab a block if you have one handy, or you don't necessarily need one, and exhale, release. We'll do that 2 more times. Inhale, lift up halfway, and release. And our last one here, inhale, lift up halfway. And if you are going to use a block, go ahead and grab your block. We'll place it directly underneath the sternum here. Bend your knees pretty vigorously. We'll place the left hand on the block and start to bring our right hand to the hip. Begin to straighten your right leg. Use your right hand to wrap that hip back and shift a little bit of weight into the ball mounds of your feet. You might even have to reposition your hand or your block on the ground there. Then we'll start to wrap this right hand around, so the right hand comes to the lower back, feeling some opening through the chest. You're starting to feel some length through the back of that right leg, and your gaze can be down. It can be out, that's my preferred place. Or if you really want to challenge, you can look up and maybe even stretch your hand up as well. Breathe in here and breathe out. One more breath. Good, yogis, go ahead and exhale, release down. Take a ragdoll fold here, grabbing opposite elbows, and just find a little gentle sway from side to side. Go ahead and release your hands to the mat. We'll inhale, lift ourselves up halfway. And then once more, find that generous bend in the knees. This time we'll place our right hand on the block or on the mat, whatever you decide on your first side. Left hand will come to the left hip as you slowly start to straighten this left leg. So while you do that, you're guiding this left shoulder blade back, pushing into the right hand, and shifting more weight into the ball mounds of your feet. Once you're there, you can slide that left hand to the lower back. Staying here and feeling the opening, shifting forward and back through the legs here. And then just as you played around before, you can check in with the gaze, down, neutral, or up. And if you decide up feels good, you can extend that left arm high to the sky. Breathing in here, breathe up. Last one, and then release it all the way down. Nicely done. Go ahead and set that block aside for now. We'll inhale to lift ourselves up halfway, and release it down. Tuck your chin to your chest, put a gentle bend in your knees, and that will slowly roll ourselves up to a mountain pose. Do a couple of shoulder rolls to release that twist, and now we'll reach the hands up high to the sky. Lengthen up, and exhale, hands down to heart center. Good, 2 more times, just like that. Inhale, reach, and exhale down. Last one, inhale, reach. And exhale, slowly release down into your forward fold. Halfway lifting, lengthen your legs and chest, inhale. And exhale, plant your hands, step back to your high plank pose. Take a moment to pause in high plank pose. Turn the creases of your elbows forward. Shift forward to your toes. And then exhale, release to your belly. Untuck your toes, feel the tops of your feet press into the mat. Glide the shoulders back and then inhale, peel your chest up for a low cobra, using your hands as much as you would like. Exhaling, release your forehead down to the ground. We'll tuck our toes underneath, engage through the core, and press the ground away so you're in high plank once more. And exhale, shift back, and downward facing dog. So we'll take just one breath here, yogis. Inhale deeply. And exhale completely. Now on your next inhale, we'll lift the heels, bend the knees, look forward, and exhale to either step or hop into forward fold. Inhale to find a halfway lift, and exhale, release. Your big toes will come to touch here. Go ahead and drop your seat and lift your chest into chair pose, arriving in your chair pose. Go ahead and sink down into your hips, shifting the weight back into your heels, and feel a little bit of opening and softening through the upper back. Full deep inhale here. And then exhale, reach your left hand forward and stretch your right arm back, trying to keep your hips square towards the front. Inhale, start center. We'll do the same side again. Exhale, left hand forward and right arm back. Inhale through center. And last one, left hand forward, right arm back. Good. Inhale through center. Switch sides. Right hand forward, left arm back. Inhale, center, trying to keep those hips square. Exhale to the left. One more time. Inhale, right arm forward, left arm back. Good. Inhale here, and exhale, release, forward fold. Halfway lift and lengthen legs and spine. Exhale, plant your hands, and either step or hop it back. High plank pose. Shift forward, exhale, and then squeeze the rib cages into your elbows. Up dog, cobra, inhale. Downward facing dog, exhale. And then right away, yogis, inhale, float your right leg high. Exhaling, knee to nose, and step your foot between your hands. Spin your left toes out, your left heel down. We'll root to rise. Nice big warrior one. Pressing off of your back heel. See if you can bend your right knee a little bit deeper. Wrapping your right shoulder back and feeling the length through your side body. Gaze can lift if that feels good for you. We'll take one more breath. On the exhale, plant your hands. We'll sweep this right leg back to a 3-leg plank. Shift forward to your toes, elbows to side body chaturanga. Upward facing dog, inhale. And downward facing dog, exhale. Right away, your left leg floats high. Inhale, lengthen it up. And then exhale, round forward, knee to nose, stepping your foot between your hands. Right toes out, right heel down. We'll root to rise, warrior one. Pushing into that right heel now, wrapping the left shoulder back. Feel the length through your side body and the deep bend into your left knee. Breathe in here. Breathe out. One more inhale. Now exhaling, plant your hands. Sweep this left leg back to 3-leg plank. Shift forward and exhale, chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra, inhale. And downward facing dog, exhale. Good. We'll take 3 breaths this time. Breathe in. Breathe out. Remember, if you want to lower down to your elbows for dolphin, giving the wrist a break, you can do that. One more time. Good, yogis. Come back to your downward facing dog. Inhale. And exhale. Lift up your heels, bend the knees, look forward. Step or hop into your forward fold. Top of the mat. Inhaling, halfway lift. Exhale, release, forward fold. Drop your seat and lift the chest, chair pose. Inhale, lengthen up. And exhale, sit a little bit lower. Take an inhale for your chair. And exhale, hands to heart center. Good, inhale, lengthen. And exhale, pull your right shoulder back, hook your elbow on your thigh. Pressing your right hand into the left. Open up through your chest. And the more you drop your seat, the more you'll find in your chest. You'll have more room to work with. Good, then bring your right hand to your right hip and start to lift up your right heel so that you can slide down, either grabbing the pinky side of your foot or your right knee. You get to choose how your hamstrings feel, and then stand it all the way up. If you've got the foot, you can extend the foot out. Or if you have the knee, you can stay in the knee. Wherever you are, extend your right arm back. Find a nice big opening. Inhale here. Exhale, stay. And then unwind, keep your leg where it is. Chest will square off towards the front. We'll step the right leg all the way back as far as you can, arriving in your warrior one. Zippering up through the center and bending deeply into your left knee. Breathe in here. And breathe out. One more inhale. And now on the exhale, plant your hands. You can either find that regular plank, 3-leg plank, or this time we might even sweep hop. Push into the ground, slide this left leg through, create an L shape into your hop, and then vinyasa. Up dog or cobra on your inhale, downward facing dog exhale. And then when you're ready here, we'll lift up our heels, bend the knees, exhale, step or float, forward fold, top of the mat. Halfway lift, lengthen legs and chest. Exhaling, release. Go ahead and drop your seat and lift the chest. Chair pose, inhale, lengthen out here. Exhaling, hands to heart center. Feel the length and the lift. And on your exhale, pull your left shoulder back and then reach down to hook your right elbow onto your left knee, squaring off the chest, working your hands towards heart center. One more breath here, inhale. And now we'll take the left hand and guide it to the left hip. Look down at your toes and swing your right hand either to the knee or to the pinky side of your foot, whatever option you took on the first side. Now stand all the way up, inhale. If you've got the foot, you'll extend out, or if you have the knee, you'll just press into the knee. Take your option and then extend the left leg arm back, opening wide. Breathe in and breathe out. Keep your leg where it is, just unwind, coming back through center, find length. And then exhale, step this left leg back as far as you can into your warrior one. So you're vigorously pressing off that back leg to lift up your chest and bend into your right knee. Take an inhale here and exhale. Good, yogis, inhale. Now on the exhale, plant your hands. Remember your options, step back, sweep back, or maybe 3-leg plank it back. I'm gonna sweep today into vinyasa. We'll all meet up in downward facing dog for 3 breaths. So arriving here, you can float to your elbows if you're starting to feel some heat. You can also find child's pose if you want a little break in between. It feels kind of nice, yeah? Last breath here. All right, yogis, from your resting pose, if you're not already in down dog, go ahead and make your way there. Take a big breath together in down dog. Inhale and exhale. Good. Now when you're ready, float your right leg high to the sky. Big stretch out for 3-leg dog. And then exhale, step your foot between your hands, low lunge. Knee stacks over the ankle, your back leg is strong and straight. Rise up here for crescent lunge. Arrive in your crescent lunge and then spin your left toes open for your first warrior 2. Take a breath in warrior 2, settle in, making sure your knee is tracking open. We'll drop the left hand and reach the right arm high here for reverse warrior. So you can stay low in that front leg, square your chest off to the long edge of your mat, and start to feel this deep opening through the right side of your body and the active hip work that's happening in the right leg as well. We'll take one more breath here. Then on your next breath, spin your right toes in 45 degrees. Stick your right seat out way behind you, left leg stays straight, and we're gonna reach both of our hands to the front. This is our speed skater. So now you should start to feel a lot of feedback in this right hip. To feel less, stay up a little bit higher. To feel more, try to get that knee and hip in line. We'll take one more breath. And then start to look over your left shoulder towards the back of your mat. Stay low to transition to crescent lunge at the back of your mat. We'll arrive here for a breath, settle in, and start to feel the opening through that front right hip that was just working really hard for us. Take an inhale here. Now on the exhale, airplane the arms back, rolling the shoulders, squeezing the elbows, and hugging everything into this midline. Now from here, we'll stand up into this left leg, drawing your right knee to your chest. Stand it all the way up, challenging that balance and weight distribution. Take a full deep inhale here. And then again, like we did at the beginning, you can decide if you want to bring your left hand to your knee or if you want to bring your left hand to your foot. I'm gonna opt for my knee this time. Stay here for one more breath. And then unwind, keep your knee right where it is. And this time, we're gonna airplane the arms back to a warrior three. So bending your legs into warrior three, find a big deep inhale. Stay here for the exhale, knit the ribs in, and pretend like that right leg is stamping on the wall behind you. Good, then continue to bend your left leg, bend, 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 bend. Step that right leg back as far as you can. And now we're gonna transition to the front of our mat again into a warrior two. Your right toes turn forward, your left toes are ever so slightly in. And this is right where we started. Go ahead and drop your left arm, reach your right arm high. Big reverse warrior as you open up for our second time. Then unwind, windmill the hands down. The left hand comes to the ground and your right arm goes to the sky for a low twist. Hips are heavy and you're opening up your chest to potentially look up at your right thumb. Feel the opening and the length here. That left leg that was working hard for us now gets that stretch. Good, yogis, take one more breath. Now on your exhale, what we're gonna do is step this right leg back halfway and pivot to the pinky edge side of your left foot. So now you're in a supported side plank. You can stay in supported, or if you want to come into full side plank or Vashisthasana, you can do that as well. So we're gonna flow here for a little bit. Take an inhale here, lift up the underside of your body, and then take your right elbow down, come onto your right elbow, drop your heels to the right, and then pick up your left hand for right side forearm plank. Still feel that engagement underneath the right side. Take an inhale here. And then exhale, bring your left elbow down. So you're in forearm plank square to the mat. Keep your left hand down, drop your heels to the left, and now pick up your right hand. We've just switched sides and we've switched to our forearms. Good, take one more breath here, inhale. Now this right hand, place it underneath your shoulder, twist up to that right hand, drop your heels to the right, and now we're in right side arm plank. Take an inhale here. Well done, yogis. Exhale, bring your left hand down to the ground, shift forward to your toes, and chaturanga exhale. Upward facing dog as you inhale, downward facing dog, exhale, and that will get something going for sure. I know I feel it here, so take a breath to smooth out and settle in. Now we'll start on our second side. Left leg floats high, inhale. Exhale, step the foot between your hands. Rise up, crescent lunge, inhale. Settle in for your exhale. Spin your right toes open, warrior two, inhale. Get that depth in your pose. Stay here for the exhale. Drop your right hand, lift your left arm high. Find that reverse warrior as you encourage the deeper bend in your left leg. Inhale here. And exhale when you're ready. Go ahead and turn your left toes in. Now we'll stick the left seat out behind us. Your right leg stays straight as you reach both of your arms towards the front, feeling that lift in your chest. Nice activation and sensation in this left hip that's not only getting a stretch, but also working. We'll take one more breath. Then we'll stay low, turn over your right shoulder towards the back of your mat, coming into your crescent lunge. Arriving in this crescent lunge, now straightening out this left leg where you can. Take an inhale, lengthen. And on your exhale, airplane the arms back, feeling the ribs knit in. On your next breath, this left leg will come to our chest as we shift into our right foot. Stand all the way up, drawing your left knee up. Maybe you wobble a little bit, that's a-okay. We'll push off of your right leg, inhale, find the length. Exhaling, twist. Either bringing your right hand to your left knee or to your left foot. Then take a breath here, breathe in and breathe out. Now slowly unwind, keep your leg where it is, lengthen out, and on the exhale, send the left leg back for a warrior three. And I like a little bend in the standing leg, it makes me feel more supported. Knit the rib cage in and lengthen out through that left heel. We'll take one more big breath, inhale. Then bend your standing leg to step that left leg back as far as you can. Reach, 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 so that you can come forward into your warrior two at the front of your mat. So your left toes are forward, your right toes are turning slightly in. We'll drop that right hand once more, And the left arm reaches up nice and high. Breathing in here, feeling the length, challenging ourselves to bend a little bit deeper. Good, take one more inhale. Now we'll windmill the hands all the way down, bringing your right hand to the ground and your left arm to the sky. So we're getting that beautiful stretch through the front of that right leg, the right leg that worked so hard for us while we were in that warrior three. Take a full breath here, inhale and exhale. Now this is our setup for our side plank work. So start to draw your left foot back halfway, pivot to the pinky edge side of your foot. You're welcome to stay here and just work on this strength here, working this underside body. However, if you want to build on, you can stack the left foot on, you can stack your left foot on top of your right. Big breath here, inhale. Then in the exhale, we'll turn down, bring the left forearm to the ground, drop your heels to the left, and now we're in our forearm side plank with the left arm down. Inhale here, we'll flow, bring your right elbow down, regular forearm plank. Inhale here, drop your heels to the right, left arm goes to the sky, inhale. Maybe it's wobbly, I feel wobbly today. And then left hand goes to the ground. Lift your heels up over to the left, right arm to the sky. And then exhale, right hand down, shift forward, and chaturanga. Upward facing dog or cobra, inhale. And downward facing dog, exhale. That one is hard, huh? Go ahead and drop down to your knees. Let your hips hang heavy. Knees can be wide or together, yogi's choice. And let the forehead rest. After that work, I really like to wrap my hands around and grab onto the heels. You can do the same if that feels good for you, yogi. And then smooth out your breath. Feel that heat that you've created in the body. One more inhale. And exhale. Well done. Go ahead and reach your hands forward. We'll shift forward onto our tabletop. Plant your toes and lift your hips, downward facing dog. We'll take a little bit of a pigeon prep here. Reach your right leg high to the sky and bring your right knee to your wrist. Walking the left leg back so it's nice and straight. Maybe even taking a peek over that left shoulder to make sure the ankle is straight as well. Let's bring our hands outside of our hips just to find an upright position. This is actually a really great stretch through the front of that left leg as well, and gives us an opportunity to square our shoulders and our hips to the front so we don't compensate in ways that we don't want to as we fold. One more breath here. And then exhale, you can lower down to your forearms. I like to start here so that you can get your alignment, ensuring that left hip is pointing down and the right sit bone stretches back. And your chest can lift up and through. And this might be a really great place to stay. Or if you want to lower down in any other variations, yogis, you're more than welcome to. We'll drop in here for just a few breaths. So see if you can smooth out and even out. And just drop right in. Noticing if you're holding on to any tension in the body and letting it go, be it your shoulders or your jaw. Letting everything release. Last breath here. Good, and then we'll walk ourselves upright. Go ahead and sit on this right hip to swing your left leg out in front of you. We'll come into a pose called shavasana, bringing the sole of your right foot into the inner left groin. We'll spin our chest to square off over this left leg. Inhale here to reach the arms up really nice and tall and begin to stretch the hands out towards your feet. Wrap your right shoulder forward, pull the navel in, and then you can use your hands to drop your forehead down towards the shin. Now if you don't quite get all the way there, if you have a trusty block, you can rest your head on a block. Or if you feel like you want more, you can always put the block outside your foot. We got plenty of options here. So just find something that you can be heavy in, that you can smooth out your breath in. Two more here. Last one. And then use your hands to re-support yourself as you walk yourself upright. And we'll spin the chest open to this right knee, bringing the right hand behind us. Allow the left toes to turn in so we can come up into a gate variation, shifting onto this right shin. Pull your hips out and your chest up and out, allowing the left arm to drop behind you, maybe even capturing the base of your skull here so that you can rest your head back in. Feeling a really gentle back bend and opener. One more inhale. And now we'll slowly unwind, exhale. You can cross at your ankles, and yogi's choice if you want to take a vinyasa or just step back into your downward facing dog. We'll all meet up here. Take your time with whatever option you have. And then together, we'll start our second side. Inhale to float your left leg high to the sky. And exhale, bring your left knee to your left wrist. Walking your right leg back for pigeon prep on the second side. Taking a peek over that right knee. Squaring your shoulders towards the front, squaring your hips towards the front, and keeping your hands alongside the hips here. So now you're starting to cue into the stretch through the front of your right leg. The shoulders are lifted and soft down on the back side of your body. We'll take one more inhale. And then you can crawl yourself forward, arriving first on your elbows, keeping the front of that right hip bone pointing down, feeling the left sit bone lengthening back and long. And then you can pull your chest up and through, potentially staying here if this feels like it is serving you. Or if you want to drop into something deeper, you're welcome again. Kind of finding where you need to be today. Relaxing the eyes in their sockets, tongue from the roof of your mouth. Allowing the stretch to just be in the hips, nowhere else. One more breath. When you're ready, here you can walk yourself upright. Go ahead and sit on this left hip as you swing your right leg around, coming into our second side Janu. So the sole of this left foot comes into your right inner groin, and you're gonna square your shoulders over the right toes. So everything is looking towards the front of your mat. Reach your arms up really nice and tall. And then when you're ready, reach out, either grabbing somewhere onto this leg to reach your chest forward, or maybe even melting your forehead to a block. See if you can add some equal weight to your left shoulder as your right shoulder, so that you're getting that really great stretch through the lower back there, the quadratus lumborum. It gets really tight on a lot of people. And then just use your breath to let go, to ease in. One more here. And then when you're ready, walk yourself upright using your hands to re-support your spine. We'll spin our chest to point towards that left knee. Left hand will come behind us and the right toes turn in. Shift your weight onto your left shin, sending the hips up and out, and then dropping your right shoulder behind you. And if you went for the grab on the base of your skull last time, you can do that again here as you drop back. Feeling the expansion and opening through the front of your body and through that hip. And then on your next exhale, we'll unwind. This time extending both legs out in front of us. We'll reach the hands forward, pull the navel into the spine, and then C-curve ourselves all the way down onto our backs. And once you're down on your back, you can bring the soles of the feet together, the knees nice and wide, one hand to the belly and one hand to your heart. Taking a moment to feel the heaviness in our hips that worked so hard for us, and that active hip opening and then our passive hip opening. You should feel like you've got a little bit more room. And then the hand on heart and belly is a nice reminder of our life force. We can feel our heart beating and the breath entering and exiting the body. One more here. Then we'll slide the hands to the backs of the knees, using the hands guide those legs together, and then lift the knees up so they stack over our hips. We'll open the arms out wide into a T, and just like we started class, Drop both legs to the right and bring your gaze to the left for a really gentle twist. Your right hand can rest on that top thigh as you melt your left shoulder down to the ground. And breathing in and breathing out. Just a few more here. See if you can let go of anything that has gathered in your body. Feeling that softening and letting go. Slipping into this more quiet end of our practice. And in your next breath, inhale, come back through center, draw your knees up, really stack on top of your hips, and then drop both of your legs over to the left. Your gaze will turn to the right as your right shoulder melts down to the ground. Your left hand can rest on that top thigh. And again, you can start that process all over of letting go. Noticing where you still feel energy or maybe even tension. And using your breath to slip away. One more here. Then inhale, we'll come back through center. Hug both knees into the chest, giving everything a really nice tight squeeze as you draw your forehead up to touch the knees. Take a full deep inhale. Hold your breath at the top for 5, 4, 3, 2, and 1. Exhale to release. Finding shavasana as you extend your legs out, giving them a nice gentle shake side to side so they fall open naturally. Glide the shoulders down the backside of your body, turning your palms up. Our eyes can close. And then together we'll take a deep inhale to fill the lungs. And then open mouth, sigh it out. Let your body rest. Scanning here from the crown of your head to the tips of your toes as you let go of any desire to move or do or push or pull. Allowing yourself to slip into this state of stillness and being. And then let's slowly begin to draw the knees into our chest. Hug everything in nice and tightly, and then begin to drop over to your right side. Support your head with your arm, pausing for a round of breath. And then on your next inhale, we'll press ourselves up into a comfortable seat. And drawing hands to heart center, eyes closed with a bow on the forehead. In gratitude for sharing your practice. Namaste. Thank you so much for being here. I hope you enjoyed today's class, working on our legs and moving things through the center of our body. Thank you so much for being here, yogi. Don't forget to hit that subscribe button as we release regular videos. And if you have any questions, comments, or even requests, go ahead and hit me up in those comments below. Cheers.